The Hunger Games: Catching Fire was the second book in the Hunger Games trilogy, and also the second movie in the, well, movie trilogy. Well, I guess 4 films. And, of course, like with all things, this is the second video in this small series I'm doing about why I think the Hunger Games trilogy is, well, the movies are just great adaptations. Maybe not perfect, like, some things like The Lord of the Rings, but, they're still great. Very little was changed, dropped, and added, whatever. When it was added, it was great. And I went over the first book in the first video of this series. This, though, in the second video, if you couldn't tell by what I said in the very beginning, or the title, or the thumbnail, because apparently you're oblivious if you don't know, is about Catching Fire and my opinions on it. Now, once again, as I'm going to say this right now, spoiler warning for this whole video. If you, for whatever reason, have not read any of the books or watched any of the movies, what are you doing? Do yourself a favor and go watch them and go read them. Alright? Watch the books, then read the books, and then watch the movies, then read the movie script, because yeah, that's what normal people do. And I'm not crazy. I swear. I swear. I'm not crazy. Trust me. But yes, so we're talking about Catching Fire in this video, and yeah, and real quick before we actually get into the video, make sure that if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. It's free, it doesn't cost a thing, and if you don't like what I make, you can change your mind later and unsubscribe. It's fine, it's alright. Help me get to 100, guys. Alright, guys, so let's get into the setup for this movie. So, this movie picks up, well, a couple months, I can't remember how long it's been, but it's been a couple months after the last games. Peeta and Katniss became the first 2 tributes to ever win, and that's never happened before. The 50th Hunger Games is also coming up, but first, before that, we have the Victor's Tour, where the victors of the last games go on a tour across all the districts and stuff like that. And you can imagine just how that plays out and stuff like that. And of course, like I said, I'm assuming you've all read the books and watched the movie, so you already know how this all plays down. But yeah, they go on the tour, things happen. President Snow's not happy, by the way, because of the whole Defiant Act that Katniss did and stuff like that with the berries, all that stuff happening, and people are revolting now because of Katniss, even though it was unintentional. All that's going on. The Quarter Quell, basically, to put it frankly, is when it happens every 25 years, and it's when things get changed up majorly. Alright, so at 25 years, I believe it was people in the district, they hand-selected themselves their tributes, and then the 50th, there was just twice the amount of tributes. That is also the year Haymitch won. This is very much so a second act of second acts, but it is a great second act, in my personal opinion. Let's talk about things that they added in. Alright, so there's always going to be additions to movies, as we're all aware, when they're being adapted from books to movies, It's just what happens, because sometimes people feel like padding out the runtime. The thing is, they could have really screwed this up, because they had something great on their hands. They basically, with the first movie, set a gold standard for what a great young adult or YA adaptation could be and could look like. Things that was added in were still things that are believable. Whenever something's added into this movie, and I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but whenever something was added in, it was added in with purpose. And every conversation that Snow had with, like, his granddaughter or with the game makers while the games was going on, stuff like that, felt very real, because guess what? I guarantee that stuff was going on in the background in the book, but since it's all from Katniss' perspective, we don't see these things. If the book had was from a third perspective, third person point of view, I don't know why I said third perspective, but a third person point of view, we'd probably see this stuff. But it's just great. It's great. I don't know what else to say, and the things they're adding make sense. Okay, I can't remember everything off the top of my head. But yeah. Anyways though, things that were dropped. Things that was dropped. this is the first time that I'm actually going to be really complaining in this video, okay? Because I don't understand why it was dropped, okay? It's like really crucial to understanding things going on, okay? Yeah, they could have had less of the other stuff in there, you know, that they added in, of course, and it would have been just as great. In fact, I think it'd be even better. It'd be even better, but the thing is, I'm pretty sure Donald Sutherland's contract, for him to be involved in this movie, he needs to be involved with it more, and bringing that stuff back, it's probably a part of his contract, because contract stuff is contract stuff, because contract, yes. And for as much as it infuriates me that this was cut, but it was cut and it was dropped. So let's talk about it. Haymitch's games. Now, I mentioned in the beginning of the video that Haymitch won in the 50th Hunger Games, the second quarter quell, where there's twice as many tributes. And in Catching Fire, Peeta and Katniss are going through the games, the reruns of the games that all the other tributes that were selected for this quarter quell, which was taken from, all the tributes were taken from the pool of existing victors, right? So they were all watching it to see who they'd be up against, figure out who they were, what their fighting style was, and all that fun jazz. And then they decided to go into Haymitch's games. And it's a very important thing and a very big thing in my personal opinion. It gives a lot of context to Haymitch as a character. Now, I'm going to say this now. I love how this movie handles PTSD because it feels genuine and honest, at least from what I understand PTSD to be and how it can be perceived and how it can interact with someone who has it. And how it can really ruin someone's life. Like, this movie handles that great. And this part in the book gives Haymitch's character so much more depth and weight, in my opinion. And it's just sad that it was cut. Like, I wish there was a 3-hour cut of this movie lying around somewhere that had this in there, because I would watch it. I would pay good money to see that. But anyways, that's besides the point. It got dropped, unfortunately, and the movie, as a result, suffers. The other thing that gets dropped is the whole District 13 plot line. Is it still there? All that stuff. And we see the runaway people from, I believe it was District 8 or 9. I can't remember exactly. Let me know down below in the comments what district it was, because I can't remember. I just know they came from a district and they were running away and stuff like that. And there was their whole story. And Katniss helped them out a little too. All that stuff just gone. And it's really sad that was gone too, because I helped with world building is setting up the end, because otherwise the end just kind of came out of nowhere a little bit. Not really, but kinda, but not really. It's just a shame that these things were dropped. These are my biggest gripes that I have with this movie, and pretty much the only gripes. But yeah, that's the end of this section, and I'm going to be going back to praising this movie and why, and touting it as being great, because it is. Alright, so what can I say about casting that I haven't really said? The casting, for the most part, has been pitch perfect and stuff like that. I've been really happy with all the casting decisions they've done. I still think Jennifer Lawrence did a fantastic job. Josh did a fantastic job. Liam did a fantastic job. Everyone did a fantastic job in this movie, and this just illustrates why these actors were perfect for these roles, in my personal opinion, and stuff like that. I think they really do fit the characters, and I can't imagine anyone else in the roles. And whenever I go through the books, at any point, whenever I re-listen to them, because I prefer audiobooks over reading because I retain information better that way, I always imagine these characters with these actors' faces in mind, and it's because they just embody the characters that well, in my personal opinion. Now, I want to talk about some great standouts, right? Philip Seymour Hoffman, by the way, fantastic, of course, in this pitch perfect casting right there, to be honest. Then, of course, we also have... I can't remember. There was another guy who played Finnick. I was just going over the names, too, so I'd have them all fresh in my head. I'll put his name on screen right now. I'm really sorry, though. I'm really sorry. But you did a fantastic job. I think it was Alex or something. I don't know. I'm being dumb. Anyways, though, the thing that I really want to talk about, though, in this section is Woody Harrelson. I didn't really mention him in the last video, and I kind of mentioned his character in the beginning of this video because he has a bigger role to play in this movie versus the last one. Yes, he was the mentor in the last one, but this time we'll learn stuff about his character in the book and movie. And he really helps to bring depth to the character. He really helps to play the role of Hamish Abernathy. He embodies the role beautifully. And what else can I say that hasn't been said about his participation in this movie? It was absolutely phenomenal, and I loved it a lot. Like, I loved it a lot, and he did a really great job. And I also want to talk a little bit more about Philip Seymour Hoffman real fast as Plutarch Heavensbee. He did great there. He did a fantastic job there. And I really can't imagine anyone else playing the role. He really helped to really toe the line between good guy and bad guy, you know? And like, we didn't know couldn't tell what his allegiance was until the very end of the movie. Then we realized, okay, he was firmly against the Capitol the entire time and stuff like that. And he was helping aid District 13, which is still a thing. And he was aiding, in other words, he was aiding the rebellion. And he knew just how corrupt Snow was. Like, most people who know President Snow know just how deep that rabbit hole goes. But I'm not exploring that in this video. No, that's for next video. But yeah, that pretty much sums up my opinions on casting. It's still just as great as ever before. And I think it was absolutely done phenomenally. Alright? Alright guys, so that was my video on why I think Catching Fire is, once again, a great adaptation. Not perfect, but great. And this is just the second video. Next video, I'll be discussing Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2, maybe. We'll just have to see. I might put them in the 2 videos, but we're just going to see how this whole thing plays out. But I'm going to have a lot of complaining about Part 1 in the next video. So if you thought the bit about me complaining about the things they dropped in this movie was a lot, oh boy, you have no idea. I have a lot to discuss in relation to Part 1 of the movies, okay? So I'll be here with that next week for you guys and stuff like that. I don't know why I'm snapping a lot, but I am. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment down below, let me know what I forgot and why I'm wrong, or why I'm so right. And yeah, let's have a discussion. Let's not be too mean down below in the comment section. I'm trying to be better with these videos and make them better, make them more snappy, cut out all the filler because I have a habit to ramble. And yeah, so I hope you guys have been really enjoying it. And I really hope that you guys can take the time to subscribe and join the channel, you know? Anyways, though, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Check out the dude Broticus Kickstarter, link down below. I don't know how long it's gone. So, yeah, check it out. Also, check out my music on Spotify. Link below in the description. And the playlist for music for streamers. Link below in the description. I got links. I got stuff for you guys to go check out. It would mean a lot to me if you checked it out. And yeah, until next time though, Rich Mix, out.